About 300 graded video games from Atari all the way to Switch are going to be auctioned off. I'm going to be watching this whole auction later today, and my plan or my goal with this auction is to pick up some amazing deals on graded video games. It's no secret that prices are down on almost everything. We know that. But what a lot of people don't know is that graded games are sold at so many other places than just eBay. Because if your only reference is eBay, you would think graded games prices are still going crazy. And when I say other places, I don't mean Instagram and Facebook and other places like that. I mean other private auction houses that deal in collectibles, including graded games. By now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with heritage auctions or golden auctions, but then there are all these smaller, lesser known auction houses like Hakes, Comic Connect, Certified Link, even PWCC is offering graded games now. And it's on these other auction houses where you can find some really great stuff, but you can also find some amazing deals. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how I prepare for an auction like this, kind of my thoughts that go into it. I'll show you what the auction actually looks like since I'm going to live stream the whole thing later today. And then I'll show you guys the results, and I'm really hoping I can steal at least something today. There's over 300 games. Surely I can get myself a good deal on something. So say thank you to every single patron who helps support the channel, as well as the YouTube members. I can't do this without you guys. And let's head over to the spreadsheet to show you guys how I prepare. So this is my master list here. This is what I prepared. 39 games that I'm going to be tossing some bids at. There are tons more games that I would love to win in this auction, but obviously I have to be realistic about what I could actually afford, what I might actually be able to be competitive on, and what I think might actually slip through the cracks. For example, there are insane Super Nintendo games coming up today, like Dracula X, Agane, Evo, The Search for Eden, Chrono Trigger, and even a brand new copy of Earthbound. But every single one of those games is gonna sell for $5,000 or more. Earthbound will probably be $10,000 or more. Even in this down market, some games just sell for incredible amounts of money. Some of the titles you'll see here, like Kiwi Craze, VGA 85, as well as Egg down here, VGA 90, these are definitely lesser popular titles that still do have a lot of value. I do try to target a lot more of this niche stuff where a lot of people who are at the auction might not even know what these games are. Everyone knows about the Marios, the Zeldas, the Silent Hills, but how many collectors out there know Kiwi Craze has value or Egg on Dreamcast? These games that I have highlighted in yellow here are the ones that I would like to win the most at this auction. Every single one of these yellow games, if I do happen to win it, will go straight into the personal collection. Zelda Collector's Edition I still need for my GameCube collection, Super Paper Mario, of course, Paper Mario on the Wii, but the two games I want the most in this auction are Virtue's Last Reward, VGA 95, and Zero Time Dilemma, VGA 95 as well. I'm willing to bid 311 and 366 respectively on them. Now, both of these games can be found factory sealed for below $100 usually, so I am willing to pay a pretty sizable premium to get the VGA 95. And I'm not looking to bully people in this auction. I just want to get the games that come to me. I want to take what comes to me. The Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc, for instance, right? If I win this, it would go in the personal collection. It's a VGA 85. I'm going to bid $333. And if we come over to eBay and look at completed listings, you can see May 8th, $329, May 7th, $340. This one even has a lot of sticker residue on it for $330. $425, $345, $349. So you can see at a $333 bid, I would be getting a deal on it, especially considering it's already graded and it is a VGA 85, which is pretty near mint as far as a DVD style game goes. Another example, the Zelda Classic series here. It's a VGA 90 plus. Beautiful copy of the game, right? Factory sealed, mint condition. I'm gonna bid $511, which might sound like a lot for Zelda Classic series on GBA, but if we look at some of the recent results, we have 9.6A plus went for $552 back in February, 9.6A plus sold for $600 back in August, VGA 90 sold for $854 back in August. VGA 90 plus, the same copy that I'm hoping to win later today, sold last year, a year and 2 months ago, for $1,170. So that $511 that I'm going to be bidding today is actually below all relative sales of this game. Like I said, I'm not looking to bully people. I'm looking to win what comes to me. The only two games that I'm actually being pretty darn aggressive on are the Virtue's Last Reward and Zero Time Dilemma, because I really want them. So my body is ready. My fingers are crossed. Let's head over to the auction. This right here is the face of a man who is ready to buy some graded video games. And because I follow these markets so closely, I do have some advantage going into these auctions. Having a lot of money is an advantage that other people like to use. So this auction here is eBay style. You put in your snipe, you pray that you win. Every game ends 30 seconds after the last game, so the auction moves pretty darn quick. And it's another reason I make up that spreadsheet beforehand. There's no way that during the live stream I can try to pick a number number to bid for these games that isn't overpaying, that's getting a deal, while also trying to focus on the chat, being entertaining, all this stuff. It's simply impossible for me. So you can see the first game on my list coming up here, right? Kiwi Craze NES, and if you look, the bid is already sitting at $576. So like I said, the max I was gonna pay for this is $522. Now $576 versus $522, obviously $50 difference, not that big, but if you start taking in that mindset, if you start just bidding more on everything, suddenly you've spent a ton more money than you actually planned on. So since the bid was already above where I wanted, I didn't even go into the bid screen, so whatever, we don't get that one, right? Not a big deal. Then we entered into some of these massive Super Nintendo games I was talking about earlier. Castlevania Dracula X ended at $6,300. Chrono Trigger there was a VGA 80 plus, it ended at $7,609. Evo, The Search for Eden, VGA 85 on that, ended at $3,100. And right underneath it is the granddaddy of the entire auction, sitting at $6,400, jumps up to $12,750 when I hit the update button there. Like I said, Earthbound here, VGA 85. This is a brand new, never opened copy, and the end price on it was $20,250. $20,000 for some Earthbound out there. So like I said, there are some games that I would love to win at this auction, but I am a realistic fellow. I cannot afford a $20,000 video game. The next game underneath there was actually one on the list, which is Equinox. Much lesser known title. Still ended up selling for $331 though, so we don't get Equinox either. And here's me actually tossing in my bid for Final Fantasy V. It's currently sitting at $225, so I have to at least do the minimum bid, but it jumped from $215 up to $275 anyway, so even though I bid $22 more than I even wanted to, I still didn't win the game. But that's what I mean, when you start bidding above your amounts, there's also minimum bid increments, so it gets really easy to spend more money than you intended to. Here's another monster game right underneath the Final Fantasy V. There was also a VGA 85 Hagane, one of the rarest Super Nintendo games, period. It also sold for $9,000. And I'll actually jump here to where I do win my first game of the auction. Factory sealed Mega Man 64. 9.4 A++. Pretty mint copy of the game. And again, the number that I had written down was 422. And I had to bid the minimum again, so I had to jump up to 456 on it. And I do win the Mega Man 64. Beautiful copy of the game, but I'll be honest with you guys, Mega Man 64 is going into the resell pile. It's one of those crazy things where this complete in-box version is like $250. So it seems crazy to get a pretty mint sealed copy for 456. An early win like this feels great, and since I think I'm gonna resell it for some profit, I also feel like I can spend a little bit more money later, or at least I don't feel so bad about spending money. At the end of the video, I'll give you a full update on everything I won and the prices that the stuff sold for, but right now I'm just jumping up to the 3DS games because these are the two I wanted the most in this auction. So I go into the Virtue's Last Reward, I'm bidding $311. This is more than I have ever seen this game sell for anywhere, any grade. This would be a new record price for this game. So I have to wait until the bid ends here, and then I click the update button to see what happened. And it sold for $326. So I struck out on the first one. That really sucks. So then Zero Time Dilemma, I put in $366. And luckily, when I updated this one, it only actually sold for $237. Let's go. Huge. So we didn't get the Virtue's Last Reward, but I did get Zero Time Dilemma, and it sold for a decent amount lower than I was willing to pay for it. So that's awesome. But wow, does it sting to not get Virtues. But let's jump to the end of the auction now, and I'll show you guys the full results of how I did. So after all was said and done, I did end up winning 5 games on my list for this auction. We got the Zero Time Dilemma for $129 less than I was willing to pay, and every other game that I did win was very close to what I was actually gonna bid on. Xenoblade Chronicles 9.4 A+ for $112, and the Pokemon Coliseum disc are both going right into the personal collection. I did get Egg on Dreamcast for $210 for the VGA 90. I did break my bidding rule on Pokemon Coliseum and Mega Man 64. I did bid more than I initially wrote down, but I did end up winning them. So Egg is also going into the resale pile, and hopefully between Egg and Mega Man 64, we can make back a lot of the money we spent today. And Advanced Guardian Heroes here, I actually would have won, but I forgot to get my bid in. I just completely missed it. And then everything else on this list is a loser. Super Paper Mario, one that I actually really wanted as well, lost out on that by $36. Zelda Collector's Edition on GameCube, lost out on that by $67. And my biggest loser out of the games I wanted was Sons of Liberty on PS2, VGA 85 plus copy. It sold for $239 more than I was bidding on it. I know I said I was going to be bidding a pretty low amount, but Jesus, I didn't expect I wasn't even going to be in the competition. Same with some of these other ones here. You can see like $334 too low on Final Fantasy X2. VGA 90 sold for $500. What? And at the very bottom here, I threw out an absolute hope and a prayer on Musha for Sega Genesis. Absolute grail of a game. I had no expectation to win it for $822. It sold for $2,600. I was off by almost 1,800 bucks. So yeah, I never had a chance on that game. But hey, you gotta shoot your shot, right? Overall, I spent about $1,350 on those 5 games. Of course, there's gonna be some shipping costs on that, so maybe that number will jump up to $1,450 by the time all is said and done. Ideally, I can sell the Mega Man 64 and the Egg on Dreamcast, make back around $900 or so, and then the other 3 games would only cost me somewhere in the $500 range, which if I can end up picking up Zero Time Dilemma, Xenoblade, and the Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc for about $500 US altogether, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled with this auction. Once I get those games posted, once they do sell or once they don't sell, I'll make sure to give you guys an update. This is how I personally prepare for these auctions. This is one of the ways I participate in this hobby, but let me know what you guys think and let me know what you guys do. Hit the like button before you go, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.